The account of Saint Benilde tells the story of how a small and frail-looking boy was able to grow into one of the most memorable saints in his community with his teachings and innovations. Pierre Romancon was born June 14, 1805 in Toret, France. The name Saint Benildus, commonly known as Saint Benilde, was the first Christian brother to be named after the founder, Saint John Baptist de La Salle. Saint Benilde lived during the Restoration times. He was a teacher and eventually became a principal to educate boys in the village and farms nearby. Many of his students had never been to school. This school became a center of social and intellectual life of that village. Saint Benilde was the first Christian brother who was proclaimed a saint on October 29, 1967. He was beatified on April 4, 1948 by Pope Pius XII, who mentioned that his sanctification was attained by enduring the terribly daily grind and by doing common things in an uncommon way. He was canonized by Pope Paul VI on October 29, 1967. Saint Benilde died on October 13, 1862.
Saint Benilde lived during the Restoration times with a war raging while political storms affected Europe. However, none of this hindered his dedication to the one purpose in his life: his apostolic ministry and service in the primary schools of Moulins, Clermont, and many others. Even with the aftermath of these events, he did not lose hope in studying well in order to impart his knowledge to others. Furthermore, in spite of the objections brought on by his father and by those who doubted his intentions, he still firmly pursued his passion for teaching the children and serving the community by doing the best he can in everything that he does.
Despite the war and poverty evident during Saint Benilde's time, he continued to fulfill his mission in the most modest and unsophisticated way. His everyday job is to teach children, adults, and even people with disabilities. He did this job exceptionally well to the point that he even learned sign language to teach deaf people. The social issues evident did not stop him from fulfilling his duty. It even strengthened him to do it and help other people with their education, despite the hardships he was facing.
Even though there were wars during his time, it didn't stop Saint Benilde from doing his duty. At his young age, he saw for himself the horrors of war and poverty in France during the Napoleonic Wars. For Saint Benilde, he always continued to go to the church and reach out to the poor. Although some people said that there's nothing special about him, such as his character, his intellect, or his apostolic work at all, he never loses patience and dedication in facing the social issues in his time.
Humility. He remained in his toes and used his ability to help others more. Zeal. With his passion, he was able to encourage others to follow his example and live life in service of others. Patience. He has been through a lot in his life, yet he remained true to himself and continued his mission. Piety. He was said to have extraordinary religious sense that he shared with everyone. And lastly, generosity. His dedication to teach anyone, whether adults or the less gifted.